A castle that can disappear in the ocean?
Imagine a castle that can vanish right before your eyes. No, it's not magic. It's the Mont Saint-Michel in France. This is not just any old castle. It's built on a rocky island and is one of the most stunning sights you can ever see. But here's the catch. During high tide, the water rises all around it, and the castle looks like it's floating in the middle of the sea. Then, when the tide goes out, the water goes away, and you can walk right up to it on dry land. The way this happens has surprised and charmed visitors for centuries. It's like the castle plays hide and seek with the sea. Twice every day, the tide changes, making the Mont Saint-Michel a disappearing wonder or a majestic island castle. So next time the sea hides this gem, just wait, and the Mont Saint-Michel will reveal itself once again as the tide rolls away.
Can a volcano really erupt in a second?
Imagine you're sitting peacefully, and out of nowhere, a mountain near you explodes. Sounds like a movie scene, right? But what if I told you that it can happen in real life and in less than a minute? Meet the superfast volcano. Volcanoes are not just about slow-moving lava. Some can go from snoozing to kaboom almost instantly. Scientists call this a limnic eruption. Instead of spewing out molten rock, this rare and explosive event can shoot out carbon dioxide and even create a gas tsunami. Yep, a gas wave speeding faster than a car. It's like a giant, deadly soda fizz. The scariest part? There are only two known places where this has happened. In Africa, around Lake Nyos and Manoun. While it's super rare, scientists keep an eye on these tricky mountains because if they pop, it can be devastating without any warning. So next time you think of volcanoes, remember, some might just need a moment to turn a quiet day into a loud, fizzy spectacle.
Can you guess what animal doesn't need to drink water?
When you think of creatures in the desert, what comes to mind? Maybe a camel? While camels can go a long time without water, there's an animal that can live its entire life without ever drinking a single drop. It's the kangaroo rat, a small rodent from the deserts of North America. Unlike camels that store fat which turns to water, kangaroo rats have a super cool system in their bodies to save water. They get tiny bits of moisture from the seeds they eat, and then their magical kidneys make sure almost no water leaves their body. They don't even sweat or pant like other animals. So, even when it's really hot, kangaroo rats are like, "No problem, I've got this." Imagine never having to drink water your whole life, just eating your water in seeds. Maybe they'll never know the joy of a cold drink on a hot day, but they sure are champions of survival in the dry desert.
Can a plant hear you talking to it?
You might have heard someone saying, if you talk to your plants, they'll grow better. But you probably wondered, is there any truth to it? Well, it turns out that plants might not have ears like we do, but they can hear in a way. Scientists have found out that plants can sense the vibrations of sounds around them, like the buzzing of a bee or the sound of running water. They can even respond to these sounds. For example, if a plant hears the sound of a bee nearby, it might release sweeter nectar to attract the bee for pollination. It's also believed that the vibrations from sounds could speed up the opening of a plant's pores, which can help them breathe better and take in more air and nutrients. So maybe when we talk to our plants, we're giving them a little bit of good vibrations. However, don't expect them to listen to your problems like a friend would. They still can't offer you any advice.
Did you know chocolate went to space before man?
Here's a fun fact that might just surprise you. Chocolate has been to space. Before humans ever went up into the cosmos, scientists sent various types of foods to test how they would react in a zero-gravity environment. Tasty bars of chocolate were among those early space travelers, riding aboard the first space shuttles to see how they would hold up. It was part of preparing for the longer astronaut missions, where food variety would be crucial for morale and nutrition. Astronauts need to stay healthy and happy when they're floating so far from home, and chocolate was a perfect treat. So when you enjoy your next chocolate bar, just think, this sweet treat has been further than many of us ever will, out into the vast expanse of space. Imagine if that chocolate could talk and share stories of stars and planets it passed by. It's one small step for man, but one giant leap for chocolate.
Can you believe your eyes? Discover the truth about colorful blood.
When you think of blood, you probably think of the color red. But did you know that not all creatures on Earth have red blood? It's true. Some animals have blood in colors you might not expect. For example, the blood of octopuses, squids, and some spiders and snails is blue. This is because they use a copper-rich protein called hemocyanin to carry oxygen instead of hemoglobin, which is what makes our blood red. Now imagine a creature with green blood. You might think it's something out of a science fiction movie, but it's real. Skinks, which are a type of lizard, have green blood due to a high concentration of a green bile pigment. The reasons behind these adaptations are still not fully understood. Some scientists believe these different blood colors could have evolved because they help these animals survive better in their particular environments. Isn't nature amazing with its variety of solutions for life?
Ever wonder why we don't fall out of bed when asleep?
When you dive into your cozy bed and drift off into dreamland, have you ever thought about why you usually don't fall out? It seems like a funny thing to think about, but your body has a special way of keeping you safe while you're snoozing. As you sleep, your brain doesn't shut off. It goes into a sort of autopilot mode. Part of your brain, called the reticular activating system, stays alert just enough to keep you from tumbling to the floor. This system tells your muscles to relax, but also sends signals if you get too close to the edge of the bed, letting your body know it needs to move back to a safer spot. Essentially, you're practicing a gentle balancing act without even knowing it. Besides, during the deepest part of your sleep, called REM sleep, your body goes into a state called REM atonia, where your muscles are virtually paralyzed and can't move. That's nature's way of making sure you don't act out your dreams. Imagine sleepwalking into an adventure every night. So thanks to our brains, we can keep dreaming sweetly without any rude awakenings on the floor.
How did a turtle crash a window in ancient Rome?
Back in ancient Rome, around the year 200 BC, there was a respected Roman general named Gaius Mucius Scaevola. But our story isn't really about him. It's about a turtle. You see, it's recorded that a turtle was once responsible for smashing through a window in Gaius's house. But how could a slow-moving turtle cause such a racket? Well, it wasn't the turtle's fault at all. An eagle flying high above saw the turtle basking in the sun and mistook it for a rock. Eagles like to drop bones onto hard surfaces to crack them open and get to the marrow inside. This eagle thought dropping the turtle onto what looked like a stone, which was actually the tiled roof of Gaius's house, would be a great idea. Unfortunately, the turtle went right through the window instead of cracking on the roof. So not only was it an unexpected way to redecorate for Gaius, but it also became one of the earliest recorded cases of an animal falling from the sky due to another animal's actions. Just imagine the surprise on everyone's faces.
Can you hear the difference? The weird world of animal whispers.
Did you know that not only humans can whisper, but animals can too? It's true. Whispering isn't just for secret conversations between friends. In the animal kingdom, some creatures use whispering in very clever ways. For instance, a mother giraffe might softly whisper to her baby to keep it close and safe from predators. But even more surprising, can you imagine a big, strong animal like a zebra whispering? Well, it does happen. Scientists have discovered that when a group of zebras feel threatened, they might start to whisper to each other. These soft sounds help them communicate quietly so that predators won't hear them. It's like they have their own secret code for when danger is near. What's more intriguing is that not all the animals can whisper. It's a special skill that only some have learned. The next time you're at a zoo or watching a wildlife documentary, try to pay close attention. You might just catch some animals in the act of whispering to one another. Now, isn't that a silently wild fun fact?
How old can a turtle get? Prepare to be shell-shocked.
Imagine for a second you could live to be 100 years old. Pretty long life, right? Now, turtles, these chill reptiles can totally outlive us. Some turtles can live to be over 150 years old. And get this, the oldest turtle ever recorded lived to be more than 180 years. These incredible creatures can spend their long lives swimming in the oceans and slowly walking on land. So the next time you see a turtle, just think it might be older than your great-grandmother. How wild is that? Follow me for more fun facts.